Magatina Chitab Kolenjin and Utukulele and get the seats in the Nenyon TV, Boroindo, and again touching in Logoiywekab Emet in Koindom, Nenyon Kodezi Langat. Get on in Logoiywekab County Nebonandi, Olega Goborga Metapke County Commissioner in County Nebonandi will be forced kilon so Sipia Koitan and meet and Barag Nebamurega. JP10 gets aboard Nequaco Team Gay activity in in Gari Quaga. Galados and Motor Secretary Drip Set in a Bagalet and County Nebonandi. In Continent Ngatuting Nebo Andayam, like a cherry pick to Gogolem, Paruto Chicket Susikiva Police, Yanganyorgoi Motagalak Tugalam, as the Gomosh Conyorchuge Torreteta, Ganyorungai Lab, kind of Logoiywekab Nenyon Elwin Charop.
First kilon sogole iwejen ine koiteta murenik missing chemite korikwak cheibetege sobonwekwak kasarta nekabit terchinoshek ole kasam ichek kocheng toretetab ng'alalutik kasarta nekabit kaimutik.
Visa vya watu kujitoa uhai hapa Nandi County vimeongezeka na ni jambo la kusikitisha kwa sababu mambo mengine ambayo yanasababisha watu kujitoa uhai, mengi ya hayo ni shida za kijamii na shida za kifamilia, na wengi wa wale ambao wanajitoa uhai ni wanaume. Njia moja ya kutatua shida ama msongo wa mawazo ni kueleza rafiki yako kile ambacho unapitia. Kama bibi anakuchapa, tafuta mzee wa rika yako, nenda umwambie bibi yangu siku hizi ananichapa. Atakwambia vile unaweza ukasaidika. Ikiwa pengine hauna rafiki kama mzee, unaweza ukapelekea ujumbe, nenda kwa ofisi ya chief, eleza chief wako kwamba bibi yangu siku hizi ananinyima chakula, yeye na watoto wake wameungana wananihangaisha kwa boma, na utaona chief atachukua hatua, atachukua hiyo kesi, ataitatua badala ya wewe kuamua kwamba dunia imefika mwisho na kuchukua uhai wako.
Ngang Jojo Gonda ne ine ko ofisayat nebo gender gole ibaru kaitoshek gole kebeberta nebo 30 bogol chebo kwanyik kong'ete kenyisiek 15 agoi 49 kokikobun kanyalilet eng Nandi.
More than 30% ya wanawake ambao wako na 15 to 49 years wamepitia domestic violence na GBV. Hiyo inamaanisha kwamba hiyo idadi iko juu sana katika Nandi County na Kenya mzima.
Kaikimit CCIO nebo Nandi Peter Ochieng kole ichek tugul chetakoboisie ng'alaletab kipkaa kotinygei ak lagok chekinyere kotuitos ak kergong'et neng'wan.
Nataka kueleza nyinyi vijana na wazee kitu kimoja tu. Mambo ya kufanya kipkaa kwa cases ya defilement. Mtoto ya shule amedhulumiwa kingono, alafu mnaenda mnakaa chini kienyeji na mnafanya kipkaa, utakuja kushikwa na ushtakiwe kama ule mwenye amefanya defilement yeye mwenyewe. Mfanya kipkaa vitu zingine, lakini cases ya defilement muachane naye.
Kong'etege county nebo Nandi, Logoiywekab Emet chebo Nenyon TV, kainenyu ko Elwin Cherop.
Kongoi missing asirin Nenyon Elwin Cherop keistoege logoichoton bunu county nebo Nandi. Ketokchinigei logoiwek chebutinyegei ak somanet olen county nebo Nakuru. Kokakokimit sirindet en ministry nebo somanet en emoni Julius Bitok. Kokole kokomuch konde serikali kobun ministry noton nebo somanet tetutik anan reforms chebo keker kole kimuch kekanapta tetutik chebo somanet en sukulisiek cheterter en emet komugul. Kong'ololi Bitok en kasta noton much kotuyo ak stakeholders chebo somanet en county nebo Nakuru. Komwa kole chepkondok chuto chekitoreten kipsomaninik capitation fees kebendi ketese kong'eten silingishek 1,400 ak 20 agoi silingishek 200 ak 400 en kenyit anan en kenyit nebo rabisiek nenyone. Akot kounoton komwoe kole kikomuch serikalit nebo Kenya Kwanza kosir koitet nemiten barak nebo konetik angiyonien kenyisiek chekikobataita.
Already provided money for capitation. The president directed that we increase capitation from 1420 to 2340 starting next financial year. So for me, from where I sit, I'm going to implement that directive to the later. So starting this new financial year, capitation will have increased. And there's no negotiation about it. It's going to be implemented like that. So I want to tell all our principals, all our stakeholders, the capitation has already been increased. The directive has been given to us. Parliament has been requested to do the same, and there should be no reason why capitation should not get to school as directed. In the last 2 terms, we have sent capitation to school before schools opened, something that has never happened in the last 40 years. So I think nobody's happy about that, but at least you should be happy about that one. Okay, on promotion of teachers, His Excellency the President made it very clear when we went to State House. He increased the resources for promotion from 1 billion to 2 billion. And I want to inform the country that so far, for the last 3 years, this government has been able to promote 167,000 teachers. 167,000 teachers have been promoted. This in the last 3 years. And now that we have now increased the allocation, I want to believe that all the teachers will get promotion as and when they fall due. So we are streamlining that space because His Excellency the President directed that on issues of career progression for teachers, we need to re-engineer that space so that all teachers now can be able to move even faster going forward. We are a listening government. We have had our junior school teachers. We have heard what they are talking about. And we have seen the court order. Because there are 2 court orders. And we are working, we are trying to look for a solution.
En kastaratan gogi miti bitokole maiman logoy kata chogoy much ko bong gibagenget agenge kole miten bara goy titina bagip so mane kigoy much ko meta sugoli segen tatutet natal na ba CBC legi miti bitokole gi much ko nesregali tina ba emoni tetutu kata jegi suben gip so mane kyatan ko bon so mane natal ba CBC le moy litan gole gi much ko tit gip so mane nik tugelam goy titina natal ba bogol en bogol so mane natal ba CBC.
The report does not have accurate figures. We do not agree with the figures given. However, we are doing our homework to ensure that we get to the bottom of this matter. From where I sit, NEC has not released any report. It is an organization which, a certain NGO, which gave a report and gave some figures, which from where I sit, we are not sure whether those are the accurate figures that reflect actually the dropout. So we are doing our homework, but just in the event that there are some students who have dropped out for one reason or the other, we are working very closely with Ngao, National Government Administration, to ensure that we mop the streets. And as you are aware, the President directed us the other day that we must ensure that there is no learner who is at home. But the screaming figures are not necessarily accurate from where I sit. Because from where I sit, we have achieved 98% transition from junior to senior, and we are working towards 100% as promised. And it's the first time that we have reached that 98.9%, to be more precise. And the chiefs have been given express orders that they must ensure that there is no learner in their locations, in their jurisdictions, who stays at home and does not go to school. So that is what we are working on. And we are confident we will achieve 100% transition. We have another pathway that learners who get to grade 9 and they don't want to go to secondary, they can go to the village polytechnics. That pathway is also available. Possibly, those learners who have gone to those pathways are the ones who are being disputed in this kind of survey. So we need to get our facts right before we publish anything. But from where I sit, that the 151,000 is not accurate figure and accurate representation on who has dropped from school.
Sabanang Logoy Chatan Buna County in about Nakuraget or Kimi Gaa County in about Wazingishu. Olegarus Kwangit, Mingi Kibago Quit in about Kamura, Commaster Nebago in it in Wazingishu. Yagango Boki Chori got again in about site in about the need not in about Islam Neba Al Huda. In White Gilagay Mucho Koreo, a Boki Chori Chotanam. I got charge to cook it home again. I all lit and I all in Ilfu Pogonagenge. Genurunga in Dablo Chukabon Sirindan Eluin Charop.
Kaimange kandoindetab msikiti notok Ismail Abdi Muhammad ak nebo ngecheret eng dinitab Islam eng komasatak Sheikh Abubakar Bini akojupto yautichotok bo chorset ole kamwa ichek kole manetai kotesetai yautik cheu chotok eng komasatak.
Nimeamka asubuhi kwa ajili ya swala alfajiri, kuamka kuja kushika udhu, maajabu tab hakuna, zishaibiwa. Kwenda kutaka kupiga adhan, amplifier nayo imeenda. Na baadhi ya vitu, amplifier, speaker, zote zimeenda. Ya kusafishia hizo makapeti zetu ikabomolewa nayo ikachukuliwa. Hii imenihuzunisha sana.
Mungu aonekanie na afanyie sisi huyo mtu mwenye likosea sisi pia aonekane pale naenda kufanyia hiyo maneno yake mbaya.
Poleni sana. Hii kanisa msikiti ni yetu wote. Kwa maana hao kiomba tunasikia na musianga sisi asubuhi. Tunasikianga kila kitu. Poleni sana, pole kabisa. Tuko na huzuni, si nyinyi peke yenu. hata sisi tunasikia uchungu sana.
Kabaishe kasaratak Abubakar Bini kosamatoshek chetelelchin ripsetab kalyet akoib kakwautiet nebo koyai chikilishet eng chokchinet eng nebo kenam akeibchi ichek tugul chekotinygei ak butetab musikiti notok kerkonget konamgei ak ng'atutikab emoni.
Ikiwa nyumba ya Mungu inaibiwa na nyumba zetu itakuwa zina usalama aina gani? Ombi letu ni kwa maofisa ya polisi wa Kenya mzima waangalie nyumba za maabadi zimeanza kuingiliwa na shetani, na shetani hawa ni wezi. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali wachukue juhudi. Sisi kama Waislamu unaona hapa kumeibiwa zitu karibu 1.5 ambazo zimetutia hasara. Leo kama Huda Foundation tunahangaika tutapata wapi?
Kongetege Wasingishu, Logoiywekab Emet chebo Nenyon TV, kainenyu ko Elwin Cherop.
Ngetokyingei county nebo Narok kole en betutab rani kaimuch kiba ministry noton nebo tililindo en Transmara kochigil kot noton nekokitech nekibendi kesarunen lagok che tibik chekabun yautik choton chebo kanyalilet anan gender based violence cheboto yatitaet noton nebo lagok che tibik kole niton ko en komasta noton nebo Kilgoris koyoton kotelelchin kibagengeit agenge nebo serikali noton ko Dupoto Africa ole kosibgei ak kandoinatet komwoe kole ityin makutik tugul ak kwendi niton kotoreti lagok chemokyingei toretet ole konu kurset koiti serikalit nebo county nebo Narok ak kibagengeisiek cheterter kole imuch kotuyagei asikorib lagok. Kenyorun Alex Timoy ole Montet.
Niton ko agenge en center nemiten kwenetab taonitab Kilgoris ole kisarunen tibik chemengech chebo kenyisiek 11 agoi 18 chebunote icheket kaimutik en families anan kanyalilet ole kaimuch kibagengeit agenge nemabo serikali noton ko Dupoto Flourish Africa ko cheng icheket kot nekisarunen tibik choton en kwenetab taonitab Kilgoris nemiten kot nengaten ngatutik nebo Kilgoris. Agot kou noton ko karuitechi kebeberta nebo tililindo koyob Transmara Cherongo kondo MOH nebo Transmara noton ko Doris Loina koro icheket senda noton kot ko kakoityi makutik chenyalunot kotinye senda noton koyob serikalitab boror. Kamwa inendet kole senda noton ko nyalu kotestai kou noton sikotestai kosor lagok chemengech chebunote kanyalilet.
Tumekagua na tukaona kweli kimefikia ile kiwango ambacho inastahili. Ni furaha nyingi tuko nayo kama maafisa wa afya kwa sababu mara nyingi tumekuwa na watoto waliodhulumiwa ama waliopitia changamoto nyingi na tulikuwa tunakosa mahala pa kuwaweka kabla wajafikishwa kotini ama kabla mambo yao hayaweza kushughulikiwa.
En komostanyin director nebo Dupoto Flourish Africa noton ko Letina Lemayan ko kaimuch inendet komwa kouni kotinygei ak senda noton.
Tumeanza tu shughuli ya kuweza kuokoa wasichana kutoka kwa kuozwa mapema, ndoa za mapema na dhuluma zote zile za kijinsia ambazo ziko committed against the girl child. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana serikali na kama Dupoto kama shirika tunatoa tuhakikisha kwamba tutazidi kushirikiana na departments, key departments za serikali.
Sisi kama ofisi ya watoto ya Kilgoris tunapatanga watoto, hatupati sehemu ya kuwaweka, tunaamua kuwapeleka Kisii ama Narok. So kama Narok County tungeomba mtusaidie kusapoti hii center ili endelee kukua, itusaidie kutuwekea watoto kwa muda tunaotafuta usaidizi kwa watu wengine.
Kongeten taonitab Kilgoris, logoiywek chebo Nenyon TV, kigurenan Alex Timoy ole Muntet.
En logoiywek alak kaimuch kosirchin betutab rani emet nebo Kenya ak emet noton nebo Tanzania. Koyonjinet nebo koker kole kaimuch kokimit tilyandit koret agenge nebo kekanapta sectors cheterter cheboto noton nebo mung'aret, kabatisiet ak kora kimnatosiek. Niton ko en kasarta noton nekaimuch kowang tuyet noton nebo mung'aret noton nekaimuch koityi President William Ruto en emet noton nebo Tanzania ole kaimuch koyai ng'alalet nebo agenge en agenge ak President nebo emonoton Samia Suluhu. Akot kou noton kokimiti President William Ruto kole kayonjinaniton kowendi kokere ole kaimuch keisto anan kenchirutik chetam kotere chemung'araik chebunu emotinwek chetuan komaisuldaen mung'arosiekwak komie.
Your deliberations have not only identified concrete opportunities to deliver deeper collaboration, but have also clearly highlighted the practical constraints that must be addressed decisively and conclusively. Your Excellency, The Kenya-Tanzania partnership is anchored in deep historical ties and a shared vision for prosperity. Today, that partnership is evolving into a dynamic economic relationship driven by strong trade, investment, and strong people-to-people connection. Within the framework of the East African community, we are demonstrating that regional integration is not merely an aspiration, it is achievable. According to the latest quarterly statistics bulletin by the East African Community Secretariat, total East Africa trade increased significantly from $124 billion in 2024 to $156 billion in 2025, representing a 25% growth. Intra-EAC trade grew even faster by 28%, rising from $15.1 billion to $19.3 billion over the same period, though it still accounts for only 12% of the region's total trade. Our bilateral trade remains strong and steadily growing.
En kasaratan ko mga President William Ruto kala inkwen hus na bagay nitin na bayal fusya ko yung tupta magangwan ganyan na bayal fusya ko yung tupta mangmuta. Wagi much kibe talagen mga ro se go sipke alagen cheru te kana ka kota ki much ko teda. Kasal dai tana tara mga re ten kidon tida ba Emet wek tuwan na tana ko Emet na ba Kenya age Emet na ba Tanzania. Ene mo gole en kasaratan tana ga much ko yon jini Emet wek tuwana. Ko bendi ko tinja mina che mga re go sul dai mga ro se kwaga en tatutika chaba ko gergole amitin ko much alak tugol. Just
a bit of trade, close to $100 million between 2024 and 2025 because of non-tariff barriers. And I am very happy that in this meeting, business people from across the divide are speaking from the same script. Listening to Paul Russo, listening to other of Amazons, listening to my good friend from Taifa Gas, my good friend Aziz, they are speaking a common language, a language of East Africa. The reason why we are losing trade, we should have crossed by now the $1 billion mark. But instead of making progress, we are making progress in the opposite direction. And it is because there are some people, bureaucrats at the borders, who are erecting roadblocks and creating barriers to our businessmen and women and reducing the trade between our countries.
Chitap kolenji na katuget na bawa Logoiywekab chatan ko kagiwang Logoiywekab Emet ko inda chuka gitetunen saine kay Nenyon ko Daisy Langat testa irgete siet na bawa Nenyon TV amon Kimi Gaa.
Nenyon TV, Kimi Gaa.